Like I cannot say I've completely overcome shyness, but yeah, I've overcome this thing up to great extent. I feel like I sometimes I do things which is really like extrovert in nature, and I just like that thing. And I also believe that if you want to overcome the shyness, if you want to break that chain of barrier of shyness or of being judged by other people's opinion, you just need to do something. Like you just need to overdo something. Once you overdo something, or once you just break that barrier, it's like a bliss moment. It's so amazing. Like it's same as like going on stage in front of 1,000 people. If you go on a stage with 1,000 people in front of you, at first you feel nervousness, but after 1 or 2 minutes, you feel bliss. Like everybody's looking at you, all the eyes are on you, and that feeling is just it's almost same as like ecstatic. I would say that would be the word I would choose. Ecstatic, and it feels so amazing. I just love this thing. I can say this very with an authority because I feel like I've lived this thing. I've lived this transformation from being shy to being open, and I just love this process a lot. And I would love to help, or I would love to I don't know. I cannot say this advice or suggest anything, but I would love to be with somebody's journey of being from being shy person to an open person. I just love these things. Like I would love you, or I would love to any person to go from this shyness to like an extravagant speaker. Like I just love this thing. If anybody wants to do that, like of course I'm not like kind of advisor or something, but I just love this process a lot. So if a person is trying, if person is making efforts to get rid of his or her shyness, I just love that person. I just love the spirit of the person, and I love this process a lot. So I would love to be with that person. Like, okay, I'm with you. I know how it feels. I know it's hard, but like in the end, result will be so amazing. Wow. I don't have words to express this feeling, like how it feels when you go on the stage. It's same as like you doing paragliding, and after when you're in the air completely, you feel bliss at the same time. It's like the same feeling when you go on the stage after 1 or 2 minutes when all the eyes are on you. You become you become the center of attraction. You have the power to speak anything, and people will listen to you. That kind of thinking actually gives me so much power. Like, wow, I'm in the power right now. I'm in the authority, and I can say, do anything, and people will look at me. That's so amazing. Maybe that's the reason I always wanted to be on the stage. That's why I always want to be on the center of attraction. Like even right now, I have this dream to be on like on the stage of Dolby Theater on any night of February, on the night or on the eve of Oscars with the trophy with my hand, like, hello, thank you everybody for this trophy. Thank you, my family, and something. Like I have prepared this speech. Like, thank you very much. This is so freaking crazy, but I just love this thing. Like, wow. And if and I'm doing this thing, like I'm with the spirit, I'm talking. I just love this thing because I feel okay. So like I shouldn't say this, I guess, but I got inspired by somebody like this. I don't have proper name, but yeah, metaphorically, I got inspired by somebody who was like this. So I just want like I'm like if I wish one person can take something from me, and yeah. So wow, this process is so amazing. Wow. Like I don't have words. That's why I'm saying wow, 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 amazing, 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 again and again.
Is actually something that not everybody gets to experience, that sensation of power that you had mentioned. Most of shy people, most of them, every shy person's actually says the opposite, like they feel really anxious. And one thing that the book mentions, the book I sent you about shyness, that most of shy people, they're also self-conscious. It means that they, in their minds, they're always thinking, overthinking, and analyzing themselves all the time. Like, how am I speaking? What are people thinking about me? Am I doing right? Like, what is Pinaki thinking about me? What is Amayma thinking about me right now? Is she bored? Why is she bored? Am I a good public speaker? You know, like I'm overthinking things at the same time that I am a self-conscious person. It's one of the things that it's mentioned in the book. I highly recommend you to read it. The book I sent you on the group, the link, right, about shyness. It's one thing that I see it this way. I think it's a type of fear and anxiety, and it has to do with self-esteem too. If you don't trust yourself that much, and you might be shy, but at the same time, like you might be a shy person and you can trust yourself. Does it have to do with not trusting yourself enough and being shy? What do you think about it? Does it have to do with self-esteem? I think it does. How do I take myself? Like, am I good at doing things or am I not good at it? You know, am I good at dancing or speaking in a foreign language or doing my job? You know, sometimes people they want to be told that they are good at something so they can value themselves as good speakers, as good bank tellers, or as good, students. They need reinforcement from other people to feel more confident, you know. And I think it has to do with this. When you get like positive feedback from the things that you do, you just keep on doing it. If you on the opposite, if you don't get a positive yes, like thumbs up, go ahead. What you're doing is really great. You may shy away from doing things, right? They don't want to do it anymore because it sounds threatening to you. Like, and my example, like dancing. I was dancing and then I thought that maybe I was not dancing properly or I was like being a joke. And I thought to myself, I'm not going to do this, keep on dancing because every time I dance, people will laugh at me, but I'll just give up on doing that. So I think it has to do with reinforcement, like with motivation from other people because it's a social kind of problem, right? Shyness comes from like if you want to speak to another, approach a stranger, if you are in a place where you don't know many people around and you have to talk to them somehow. So you have to approach them, right? To speak to them. And it's a social thing, right? And I think there are a lot of people that struggle with shyness and they go to therapy to know how to handle this. I don't know what you have gone through, Pinnakin, because you said that you would love to help someone from being shy, really, really shy, and transform oneself in a more extroverted person, I guess. Have you ever helped a friend of yours that was really shy? You said that you were shy yourself. You're really shy, right?
Exactly. But like if you have that kind of friend who is shy and who's willing to be open, then you can push him or her. Like sometimes you just need, when you are in such state, you just need some sort of motivation mentally and at the same time, like I would say pragmatically, like you create some sort of event or situations where he or she gets to be open. Like if and I don't know, but if like there is a gathering of friends and gathering of some sort of people, like small gathering, if if a person is shy, I know that, and if I want him to be open, then I would create some sort of environment that gives him or her chance to speak something. And like it's so funny, but for a shy person to be able to speak to some people is amazing. Like this can literally make his or her day. Like I still remember, like when I was in school, if any day I'd gotten chance to speak in front of class, I would still remember those days because those were my amazing days. So and at the same time, like you said, uh, it's more about, you know, the people's opinion or the people's validation. I guess we value other people's opinion more. That's why we think more about them thing. But the funny thing is, we also know that we actually don't think about others much because we don't have time for them thing because we are so busy in our life. So then, like I read this quote by uh, a famous novelist, David Foster Wallace. It reads something like this: like, you will worry less about what people think of you when you realize how seldom they do. Actually, people don't think much about you much. It's just that they don't have time. Anybody, like, nobody has time for you. Why? Like, are you so special? Are you so celebrity or something like that people will think about you? No, it's just a normal person. And I question this thing to myself. Like, are you so self-centered? Like, this thing gives me another dimension of thinking. Like, introvert person, are introvert persons really self-centered, or they're just introvert? Sometimes I feel like they are so self-centered. Like, sometimes they are really egoistic. Sometimes I feel like that. Like, I think in a different way, that they're so self-centered. They don't think about others. They just think all the time about them. Like, oh, what other people will think about me? What he is thinking about it? What she's thinking about it? What if I do something and they react on this thing? What the hell? No, nobody cares about you. I mean, people are so busy. So it's so funny. But yeah, we have that kind of feeling because we don't know exactly, or we are in that kind of shell that, oh my God, everybody's thinking about me. I'm the center of attraction. I'm the center of everything. And that's so delusional thinking, which is not right at all. Once we overcome this shell, once we overcome this thinking, we realize, wow, we were so stupid. I still feel I was so stupid. I was so stupid to think about it. Because nobody cares about this thing. Like, nobody cares like, why? I mean, why would I think about you thinking about me? What the hell? No, I have my life to live. Like, just imagine that person every day has 24 hours. That person has also 24 hours.
That
Why would
person
he
has
think
a
about
life,
me?
right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's so funny. Sometimes I feel like this shyness, the judgment thing, is just like so delusional. It's just like a made-up thing, which doesn't exist in real life. It's just in our head, not in real life. Sometimes I feel like that, and I guess it's true. But yeah, because it's in our head, we believe them, we follow them, we act accordingly, and sometimes we restrict our actions because of that thing, which is so wrong. But yeah,
I think it
it is
might be
what it is.
connected with other things like anxiety and fear, and it gets on the way of many things like your memory. This book that I've been reading, it's really good. It talks about scientific
What's the
research.
name of the book?
Well, it's shyness. It's shyness. What to do about it? What it is and what to do about it. I can send you by. I have the book, right? I will send you the link on PDF format. It has many, like it's a 1,200 pages book, but it's really good,
Okay,
you
that's
know.
a book. That's a big book.
Yes, it is. I'm still reading, you know. It talks about shyness on children and school days, shy teachers and relationships, like intimate relationships with people. And it's really kind of nice because it comes from a scientific kind of perspective. You know, it's a psychology book, right? Um,
I just want to say something
yeah,
before
sure.
Lucas say something. I just really like the appearance of Lucas. I mean, his face is quite happy. Like, I don't know, in general, his generic phrase is his generic face is happy, like happy face, happy pleasing face. I just like that. Like,
Lucas,
even
show
I guess he has
yourself.
that kind of, like, I don't know that I don't know what is it called, but this thing, like, he has a good happy face, I would say. I really
Yeah,
like it.
he's really sociable. He seems to be sociable, but he told me once that he's
Oh,
shy.
really? That's true. Actually, he seems like that person, that guy who is always center of the attraction in every meeting. Like, he's the hero of he's the hero of any get. I feel like that.
I'm not
It's
even
good.
gonna turn the camera on because now you guys are making me blush. Okay?
No, but
No,
that's true. Like anybody can, if anybody sees your face, that that person would be happy. Like, wow. I really like when you turn on the camera. When I saw you first time, wow. Like, yeah, I was pleased. I was pleased. It's a happy face. That's a good thing. You give good vibes. Yeah.
Thank you very much, bro. And now I'm not gonna turn it on because, opa, I'm kinda. Let me see if I can. I'm just gonna
he's
put some
cooking right
food.
now.
You're cooking, man.
Not cooking. My dad cooked. I'm just gonna eat.
Okay.
Just gonna eat.
Okay, you can speak, okay, if you have like time to speak and just listen. I don't know. Do whatever
Yeah, I
you
would
can
love
do.
to. I'm here.
So, Pinnakin, I want to know your opinion from a situation I read in the book that's like this. A wife and a husband, right? The husband is always quiet, and they go out together, and their friends, or new strangers, whenever they have encounters with other people and stuff, he's always silent. He doesn't talk to people. He doesn't speak to them, and his wife is starting getting like really annoyed by his behavior, and like because he comes off as a unpolite person because he gets silent. When you want to introduce to new people, you have to ask questions and show that you have really real interest in their lives and stuff. But that's not the case. If you have a partner that was shy and you wanted to introduce a lot of people to your partner, and those people started getting really, discomfort from your partner's kind of behavior. Would you do anything about it?
I mean, if that person is happy with his or her personality, then like we don't need to do anything. I mean, being shy and being an introvert are two different things. And I feel that, an introvert can be a great happy person. Like he doesn't need to cross or change his or her personality because other, like, it's like it's so funny in 21st century, in today's era, in era of internet or the era of social media, being extrovert is seen as a positive, a successful person. But actually, it's not true. And introverts are also amazingly doing well in their life. And if they're so happy, they're so content
You
with
know,
their life, they don't need to do anything. So, yeah,
Yeah, you can be an introvert and a successful person at the same time, right? So,
of course, they like, yeah, that was a really good TED talk on that theme. If I find, I would definitely like suggest you to watch it.
if you push another person
I,
to stop being shy, like stop being shy, that's not a good strategy to help that person not being shy. Like push, come on, Pinnacle, come on, say something. Don't be silent, stop being shy. That's not a good strategy to help.
provided provided if they are also willing to do that thing. It's not like they're happy with their space and you are pushing them to do something opposite to their personality, which would be like it would be invading their personal space. But if they are really willing to do this and they're struggling with it, then we can definitely push them.
when we talk with people that are shy, usually they think more about what they're gonna say. And even though they say less, they talk less, usually when they speak, they're really kind and nice people. So I think that being shy is just a trait that can be good or bad depending on the person. But usually, I do enjoy talking with shy people. They are usually shy at first, but once they are your friends, they are pretty cool people.
That's true. That's so true. That's so true. Yeah.
Because did you ever had a like teacher telling you say something while being in class when you were younger, like in classroom, and all your friends would say something, and you were the one that was quiet. You were the quiet one, and your teacher kind of pushed you to speak. That's kind of really, really bad, you know? Like if you are pushed to do something, I'm trying to be in context here, right? Because you said that if I'm willing to be pushed, then that's not a problem, right? But if I am in a
Yeah.
classroom, because I feel that the teacher is a kind of a authority figure in
Uou, muito
class.
bom, viu?
Yes, Lucas.
Muito bom.
So I feel that the teacher is an authority figure in class, right?
Muito bem.
And I have to say something. I don't know, but I don't want to say I am shy, and you feel pushed to speak in classroom. That's a bad thing from my
Tipo,
perspective.
se eu abrisse um restaurante, enquanto você fizesse a comida,
Lucas,
teria
mute
um grande motor.
yourself. Mute yourself. Lucas, mute yourself. Did you understand my point, Finnegan? Did you
Yeah, I
understand what I'm
got it.
saying?
Yeah, I want to say, but I just like I was just waiting for Lucas. But okay, so I feel like I see this in a way that teachers in general want to make their students successful, as in like successful in terms of the world, successful in terms of society. And a successful person in terms of society is for someone who speaks openly. So they're just giving chance. They feel like, like I said, you grow up as a person depending on your surroundings, and they just want to create that kind of surrounding around you so that you can also be open, you can also speak out, which can actually help you in your life, in your career. So I don't see this as a bad thing because teachers are doing, in general, good thing. I mean, like even if you're an introvert, sometimes you should speak out. Like if you're given that kind of practice since birth, there's nothing wrong with that. So I feel like it's good in general. It's good because they're just preparing you for the harsh world. Like teachers are preparing you for the harsh world. They know that in real world, what happens, they're just preparing you for that thing. Like there are places where you have to speak your opinion, and if you can't do that, then you might lose some really important thing or important chance or important stand. So I guess they're doing in general good thing.
That's a
Yeah,
really
I guess they're doing
that's
their
a really
job.
good opinion. Yeah, you're probably right. In the real world, you're gonna have to face lots of situations in which you have to stand for your thoughts, your rights. I don't know, you have to give your own thoughts and your opinions about situations. And if you don't come off as something that is it's confident to speak your opinion, speak your mind, and then maybe people will not see you as a strong, I don't know, person or employee. I don't know. Yeah, you're right about it. Yeah, that's a good point. But the thing is, I think it has to be trained as a skill. I think it has to be trained. Like, if, for example, if I'm speaking right now with you, and if I'm shy, I'm training myself on being less and less shy, right? Training myself not to be shy to the point that I don't, I won't get the benefit out of this, right? And you are right about that. When people are taking it shy and quiet people, they are not strong or, successful. They're taking it's not a good quality actually, especially, I don't know, in private companies, I don't know, do you think that teachers should be outgoing, extroverted? And I mean, what's the difference? You said there's a difference between being shy and being introvert. What's the difference?
That's a good question. Um, uh, Being shy, as in like they're not happy with their situation. They're willing to leave that situation, but they are struggling. I would say that as shyness and introvert is something like is someone who is happy with their state. I mean, they actually don't want to go on stage. They actually don't want to come out to the people. They just want to be in their space and do their job, like a writer or like like a director. Like they don't want to go on a big screen. They just want to do their job. Maybe that's how they are introverts. I mean, like let's say this in how do I say this thing? Like a scientist, let's say, a scientist who does research for his entire life. He's not. I guess they're okay. Of course, they're people are different and they can be extrovert as well, but they're introvert and they're highly successful, and they don't want to go on stage or TV or something. They're just
Yeah.
happy with their life and they're so confident about this. Sadly, in this world, I mean, in this era, uh, being an extrovert or being outspoken is considered as confident, but actually it's not. A person doing his job for 10 years or like his entire life who is doing research in certain subject can be so freaking confident in his in own way, but we are just not aware of it because for a general person like us, for general people, a confident person is somebody who comes out and speaks to the world. I guess
Yes.
it is because I guess it is because we look up to celebrities, we look up to uh, politicians a lot, and I guess we have this kind of culture where being open is considered great. I mean, and I guess it's also true because like you cannot be an introvert politician. I guess if you want to be a politician, then you.
I
I
think
mean,
that's
like yeah,
impossible.
yeah,
Imagine an
exactly. You
introvert
Although we had
politician.
a president like that, the former president was kind of
okay?
everyone.
Right now, I know Jair Bolsonaro, who is like kind of and who is like a right-winged politician. I know.
Yes.
I read about him, like he's anti-LGBTQ and everything, and he's also kind of Trump. I know that.
Yeah, I was just saying that we had a president that didn't like fit enough with the extroverted kind of type, you know, persona. She didn't have like these features. She was really like the straight face, and and we had the former president was a woman, Dilma Rousseff. But this guy that we have right now in power, he's totally stupid. I think that
Dilma
people.
Rousseff as an introvert. Dilma Rousseff as an introverted politician. He was
I
taken
I
off
I think,
her place.
yeah, I think she was not. She didn't have the qualities or the requirements to be a president. I mean, as a public figure, as a public figure, and the things that you're supposed to do as a president, you know, she didn't have the requirements, the talent, maybe she would do something inside the president's house or whatever, but when it came to be a public figure, whenever she had to say things, pronounce, make statements, I feel that she was not there. She didn't fit. You know, that's the impression that I got. I don't know.
Mhm. But, but
And
but
the
I think
president nowadays, it's perfect for a politician.
No,
Everything he
not at
wants,
all.
he makes everything that comes to his mind. He says anything he wants at any time, and in the next day, he has no problems. Everything stays in the past, and he's just okay. He just get along with anything he says, which is what presidents need to do. Like not having problems because everyone has, but not Malu, let me speak. But not caring about them.
That's one of the things that certainly goes against being a president and being a public figure when you speak too much and you ended up saying things that you're not supposed to say. Just like this Brazilian president we have and Trump in the US, you know, being like outspoken, being like, ah, I'm supposed to say everything that comes to mind. This is not a good thing at all, from
So
my perspective.
certain professions require that kind of trait, that kind of personality, that you have to be outspoken. And then you can survive in such profession. I guess being a politician is one of them. And like the downside of this whole theory or this whole phenomenon is that a wrong person or a person who is actually outspoken but actually not smart. But just because he's outspoken, people consider him confident. Who is like the person is not right, but just because he's outspoken, who can communicate really well, people consider him a good person and choose that person, and like people have to suffer. So it's so funny. Like this is the downside of this whole fucking scenario. Sorry, freaking scenario that I mean, yeah, being smart is actually not like people consider being outspoken as smart or skill. Of course it's a skill, but it's not smartness. Being smartness is like being smart is a different thing. You have knowledge about something is a different thing. But like I when I think of this, I just think of Trump. He speaks so many things just like that, without even facts, without even like he just says things and he doesn't care about it. Like yeah, because he's so outspoken. And I guess yeah, being able to communicate well can put you in a position where people look at up to you. So yeah, it is what it is. I mean, maybe because of
Politicians
this whole
actually
situation.
have this kind of, sorry cutting you off, just saying that politicians must have this thing, right? That like being really communicative and extroverted and charismatic. I think that's the word. They have to be
Because
charismatic.
people because he or she is leading the world, leading the country, and people look up to them, look up to him or her. And of course, because people have faith in him or her, that's why he or she must be like that. Like Jacinda Ardern, she's so fearless woman.
It's kind of the leadership, having the leadership skills. There are two opposite kind of intelligence, yeah. It's the one that's more that when you are a leader, and you can lead people, you can tell them what to do in crisis when they need to do stuff. They need to have problem solving skills. They need to be fast at thinking. They need to come up with a solution. And the leader knows what to do. A leader is supposed to communicate well with people and knowing one's strengths and weaknesses. And the opposite from that is the introverted kind of person. He's more like, he or she might be more reflective, you know, and isolated, and maybe thinking about himself or herself, like the writers, a
About
writer.
politicians, they are supposed to make choices. And I don't know if you guys have, of course you guys have made choices in life, like hard choices. And those choices, we have to think about what we're gonna do first. And somebody who is careless, who just says anything that comes to its mind and just say the first thing without taking a second thought, is probably not the best for leading people. So it would be better someone who listens first, understands, and then will come up with a solution. And the leaders we choose, they aren't like that. They are the ones who talk more, who talk faster, funny, maybe even pretty, and rich. Those are the traits that we choose because we can't, see if the person is, you know, good at making decisions. It's not what we're gonna see. We're gonna see if the person is pretty or if it has money or things like that. So choosing politicians is actually a really hard thing. And about one thing you asked about if teachers have to be, outspoken or if they can't be shy, I think that it depends on the subject. When you have maybe a math teacher, you need one who is really good at math and who is really good at teaching. You don't want the one who speaks the most, because if they speak fast, you don't understand anything. But if you are like studying to go to, be an actor, you need somebody who can, perform anything and be outspoken or shy and change personality with ease. So depends on the subject that the teacher is teaching. Like if it is teaching about communication skills, it must be a person that talks very well. If it is other things, maybe the way that the teacher is out of the class, it's not important at all.
But I guess, like for a teacher, it is very important that he or she can communicate well. Uh, but I guess communication is something that you're able to convey your message to other person perfectly, so that other person can understand you. And I guess it is very, very, very important for a teacher to have this kind of personality, to have that kind of trait. I believe in like even if you're a math teacher, you should be able to convey your teaching process. You should be able to make students understand the proper process or follow
Yeah,
formulas and
yeah, yeah.
everything.
But when we say about somebody who's outspoken, like I don't know what's the word, a person that communicates a lot, talk a lot, like an extrovert.
Extrovert, yeah.
Maybe it's not what you want. I had some extrovert teachers teaching about physics. In the middle of the subject, they talked about philosophy and their personal life, and I was like, I don't care. I want to know the subject, and they were like extroverts and sharing things that were not important. So I think that a teacher that has focus and would talk about the subject that matters, it's more important than somebody who talks more. Does it make sense?
Well,
Like just one view.
yes, that's true. But like, would you give a chance to a teacher? Like somehow hypothetically, two teachers have same sort of skill sets, but one teacher is outspoken, the other person is not that kind of outspoken. Like the one person, the A, is very well spoken in a way, like he or she is able to convey his message so perfectly, and the other person finds it a bit difficulty in doing that same. So would you choose A or B? We like in this scenario, we will definitely choose A because we want teachers to be
In
a
this
loquacious,
scenario,
like
we're
outspoken person.
talking about in this scenario we're talking about a good and a bad teacher, not about a teacher that it is like focused and don't talk that much about unimportant things. Because a teacher has to teach; it's his job. If he does it well, talking about what matters, I think that the one who is strict to the point might be better at some things than the other. Just a personal opinion.
Do you mean being insecure, Pinikin?
Stays
When you say
what?
being insecure, I mean like when the person cannot say opinion like perfectly, communicate well, and that person might be insecure. Let's say a teacher doesn't know how to express his opinions, his or her opinions. So one is insecure, you know, and that, do you mean that insecurity is the opposite of being extroverted, an extrovert?
Well, actually, no. I meant like there are teachers who are really really smart, but they're just unable to teach. Like they know like they have good knowledge, they have great knowledge, but they're just unable to convey that knowledge to students because they don't have proper communication channel. That's what I mean. That's what I
Oh
meant.
yeah, right.
That was an awesome question, Giza. Awesome question. Because I've seen many extrovert people. Like there is one girl in my class that she's extrovert and she talks a lot about her life, how perfect everything is, how pretty her nails are, how well she, you know, how well she dressed and her hair looks beautiful under the light. And she is pretty insecure on the inside. She has scars of surgeries she has already done, and like making her breast looks bigger and her nose looks smaller. And she seems like an outgoing person, but I think that on the inside, she's completely insecure about herself and
How can you
how
tell?
others will perceive her.
How can you tell if she is insecure or not?
Yeah, because she
That's a
can't.
good question.
I, I
Yeah.
think she can't accept the way she is. She's not. She's not okay with her own body or with anything. I think that's a
I
great
have a
sign of
question.
insecurity. Go ahead.
I have a question. Why would you like? Why would a person should accept, or like, how did you conclude that she's not accepting the way she is? Do you know
Guys,
her?
just a
Have you ever
minute.
talked
We
to her?
have one less than
Yeah,
1 minute. Guys, we have less
yeah.
than 1 minute.
I've talked to her, and it is a lot different than when you look at her. When you look at her, you
Okay.
think, oh, come on, this person is outspoken and she's pretty and everything.